on everything in general. I mean, there's revelations that come later that are a preparation for redemption. There are revelations that come giving us the energy to go through the darkness of worlds. So each one has their purpose, you know. There's different things that are revealed in different times. In the same sense that Torah was given in a certain time, the Medrash says, "As Hakel Yofa Osa B'itei." Hashem has made everything, the timetable, everything was set right. The same thing is also in regards to spreading of Hasidus. In a time of darkness, in a time of that generations were getting lower and lower in class and quality, that's when Hasidus was given, in order to refine, to pick up the standard, to bring in a zest, a fervor, a flavor in fulfilling Torah mitzvahs. The Baal Shem Tov is compared to the name from the Baal Shem Tov. Baal Shem Tov's name is Rabbi Yisrael. It is compared to Hasidus, like someone that fainted. They need to revive him, so they whisper his name into his ear. This was a known method years ago. The Rebbe says even non-Jews knew about it. To whisper the name of the person into his ear, and that's how they revived him from his condition.
The person's own name.
Person's own name. This explains why the name.
First, second, middle name.
Yeah, the name, his full name is probably his individual name, not the family name.
My grandmother was in a coma, but they say her name, and she would wake up. Say her name, she said, "What?" And go right back. I did it as a kid. Go see it, go do it. I did it. And he said, "What?" Right back.
The reason is because a name connects the soul of the person with the body. A name is a channel through which the soul's life is drawn down to the body. And therefore, the blessing and the connection of the soul and body together is through the name. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, when a person, like in the United States, has two names, a Hebrew name and an English name, is there any significance to the English name or not at all?
I'll tell you what the source of the Jewish name is. The Jewish name in general is a name that is given by the parents, and it says from the Arizal that it's given with a spiritual intuition, a Ruach HaKodesh.
Right.
That they received it, that the husband and wife, they're the ones that decide what should be the name of this child, which means what should be the life of the child. This is all included in the name.
Right, this is the Hebrew name.
The Hebrew name, right.
What about the English name?
I don't know. I never heard anything.
Isn't there an aspect to what the world calls a person? What is
in
the world?
halacha,
whatever the name is. There's an extra aspect to it.
In halacha, it's called kinoi. In kinoi, for example, a nickname or an additional name, when it comes to ksuva, a marriage contract, there's a need to take that in consideration. When a rabbi makes up a marriage contract, they have to take in consideration a kinoi, which is a nickname.
That's a question. I know the Rebbe spoke a lot about teaching the 7 laws of Noah to the non-Jewish world. But we see now that non-Jews are coming back to Kabbalah. They're interested in Kabbalah. They're coming back in droves. The Kabbalah Center, no matter what they do, I don't want to talk about them, go to bed, but I'm saying that the non-Jews are being attracted now to Torah and Kabbalah. I know that the Rebbe spoke a lot about, you know, the 7 mitzvahs of Noah, but what's happening? Like what's going on now? Like, why are so many people attracted to Torah?
It's once the revelation of Hasidus for many years. It's a certain stage. This is a stage that the more we're getting, the closer we get to the redemption, is the time that the sparks and the light awakens many people. People, the non-Jews that are sensitive to it, they respond. They connect with Kabbalah. I mean, I was in Detroit in camp about already 40 years ago. I overheard 2 janitors speaking amongst each other. They're from Queens, and they were in Flint, Michigan. And one says to another, when Kesser shines into this, I didn't know what hit me. I was a young guy. And I said, where'd you get that from? Hey, Kabbalah school in Queens. This is 1971. You know what I mean? This is way back. Today it's already, you go on 34th Street, Penn Station, they were selling books, Kabbalah books. You know who's selling what. I mean, things, Kabbalah in general, in Chabad, the leaders of Chabad were very cautious with Kabbalah books. Who wrote them? How reliable are they? You know, sometimes they say that some Kabbalah books are like plumbers, plumber manuals, showing you this pipe, this channel, that channel. They don't. Some of them are not even aware what they're getting into. I mean, this whole thing is a spiritual channel. It's something which is removed from physical features, and not everybody can just write on Kabbalah. And today, people are so thirsty, they're grabbing whatever they can get. I just want to continue with this. This is actually to bring it down in the physical world. Mentioned earlier that in general, in world we have also these three factors. We have place, time, and person, and we have it also in the person himself, and we have it also in the body of the person. What is it in the world? By now we can figure it out. Nefesh is the life that sustains the world. That's nefesh, person. Olam shana nefesh, place, is the world. Time is the life, the Rotzi V'Shuv, is that circulation that's constantly sustaining the world back and forth. Because there's a need to connect to higher, there's also a need to address lower. So therefore we have these two directions in the same time, in order to merge together two extremes. Godliness with world, the energy in this physical world, in this physical territory, so there's a need of something that connects both of them together. That's called time, and the reason it's called time is because it is accomplished by the sequence of the rhythm back and forth, the stalling of time between one and another, between the one direction and another. This is referred to as the source of time. In a person, we also have these three things. Same like in world. There's the nefesh, the soul of the person. Then we have the body, is the world of the person. The world is the body of the person. And then we have, physically, we have the circulation. We see it in a very physical sense. The heart, the blood going one way, blood going the other way. Going up to the heart, going down. This is Rotzi V'Shuv, back and forth. Constantly needs to be a rhythm. And the same thing is also in the body of a person. The body of a person consists of three things: the bones, the flesh, and the veins. The veins, which carry the blood, which is the message of the rhythm, the back and forth, the circulation, connects the bones, which the bones in Hebrew is called atzomes. Atzomes means the essence. Connects the essence with the flesh. In other words, that the flesh is receiving its energy from the essence of the person. And that is through the veins and the arteries, which are transporting the blood in both directions. Now we come, this is the hardest part actually, not the hardest part, but psychologically, how do we express it in our service to the Almighty? So there's an interesting discourse that the Rebbe gave, which the Rebbe gave in late 1951. It was Parsha Breishis. The Rebbe gave a discourse, and the Rebbe explains that there are three things in a person also, in the service to the Creator. One is nefesh. Nefesh is the energy. The energy of the relationship between a person and the Almighty is the love and fear. Love and fear. The practical connection between a person and the Almighty is the mitzvahs. Doing the mitzvahs, doing the commandments, fulfilling the commandments. It's maaseh. Maaseh means deed. It's like completely outside of the person's world. It's outside of him. Deed. Now what connects feeling to deed? That is prayer. Prayer is something that connects the person, that the love and fear that he has in his heart should come down and be implemented and expressed in a practical sense after